And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big old Friday. The trade deadline just happened yesterday. We went through most of them, but there was still a couple that kind of happened in the last hour and a half after we went live. So we'll break all those down, recover everything. We'll be looking at Elijah Molden, safety from Washington, today in our NFL Draft Prospect Countdown. And then breaking down the NBA from last night, we got our moneymaker back on track. Yes, sir. A little one-teamer just from last night, but it hit, so that's all we're looking for. We found the great value. We found it. We hit our one pick, and now we're striving for more today. So let's beef it up a little bit, and let's get back on track and start making some real coin here at the back half of the season after the trade deadline, now that all the teams are starting to be settled in a little bit more, final rosters, really. Well, some. We'll have to talk about that in when we talk about the stories, but let's just jump right into it. Here we go. And man, oh man, the Bucks, man. They're just going to repeat. They are going to win the Super Bowl again. Who's going to stop them? Who's going to be good in the playoffs? Who's going to capitalize on Tom Brady's turnovers in the playoffs? Who's going to do that? Because nobody did it last season. And they're going to have the same exact team from last season to this season. So the result should be the same. They'll have to... The Bucks are going to have to win a road Super Bowl. Unfortunate for them. They're not going to be comfy, cozy at their home stadium for this Super Bowl that they're going to get to because they just re-signed Leonard Fournette. So, I mean, he wasn't a huge piece to this Bucks team, but in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, that's when he really emerged and he kind of won in the Super Bowl. So, they bring him back. Obviously, Ronald Jones is their number one running back. Leonard Fournette, he'll be, when they need him, when they need him the most, he'll step up. So watch out. They're getting another piece back. Basically, they gotten everybody back. Now, since they signed Leonard Fournette, they probably won't be signing Antonio Brown, so he's probably going to have to walk, but who knows? I mean, the Bucks are surprising us by literally still getting everybody, and that's what I love. I mean, I love what I'm seeing from this Bucks team. Let's run it back. We just got Brady. We just want a ring year one. Let's run it back. I love that attitude of everybody coming back. The defense, the offense, taking some pay cuts. Leonard Fournette's only getting like $4 million. It's like 3.5 base and then like $500,000 in incentives, which they'll hit because they'll win the Super Bowl again, so he's going to get the full $4 million. Nice little one-year deal here for Leonard Fournette to re-sign with the Bucks, so got to watch out for the Bucks, man. They're getting all their key pieces back. Antonio Brown, if they don't re-sign him, that's kind of fine. I mean, yeah, Antonio Brown did do good in the Super Bowl in that playoff run, but I mean, they still got everybody else at the wide receiver position, so, Antonio Brown with everything is just really kind of the cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae that's already, fully overflowing from the bowl. That one cherry is really just going to make it, it's going to make it more delicious because that's an extra cherry. Maybe you save that cherry to the end. Don't rush all the cherries in the beginning of when you're eating that sundae. But yeah, Leonard Fournette, man, re-signing with the Bucks. They're running it back. Everybody's back. They'll win the Super Bowl again. I mean, maybe if Andy Reid's son doesn't kill somebody in a car crash, or I don't know if anybody died, but in the car crash. But if he doesn't run into somebody drunk right before the Super Bowl, maybe the Chiefs will be able to kind of have a clear head, and Andy Reid can go out and fully game plan, not having a heavy heart that his son almost just murdered people. So if that works, then maybe the Chiefs can challenge them, but I don't know, man. Watch out for the Bucks. They'll repeat. We'll be talking about maybe trying to run it back, a three-peat next season, 1 year from right now. We'll be talking about Leonard Fournette re-signing another 1-year contract to try and three-peat. The rich stay rich, folks. The Bucks stay rich. Alrighty, the Bills. Well, They didn't get Leonard Fournette, but, solid little pickup here. Bills agreed to terms with running back Matt Breida on a 1-year contract. So they obviously got Singletary as their main man. Now, Zach Moss is kind of their number 2 rookie from last year. He ran for like 400 yards, pretty solid. And then they pick up Matt Breida, running back by committee. That's what you need running back-wise in this league right now. That's how it works. That's why the Bucs just won, using Ronald Jones as kind of their workhorse for the entire season, letting Leonard Fournette just kind of specialize here and there. And then in the playoffs, Super Bowl, he gets it done. So you need running back by committee, and Bills are trying to shore up their running game here, signing Matt Breida. Now, Matt Breida is still young. He's like 5 years in. Never has really been the number 1 running back in this league. I mean, or just kind of the main running back on his team. He was like, I think it was the number 1 back for the 49ers in one season, maybe 2017, 2018, something around there, where he rushed for like 800 yards, but never had that 1,000-yard rushing season. Then he was with the Dolphins last season, never really made it work. We had Gaskin, he kind of fell down the depth chart here, Matt Breida for the Dolphins. So now he's going to probably do that with the Bills, but a solid third option here, decent kind of catcher out of the backfield as well, runs some decent routes for a running back. So, just a solid pickup here, and that's all the Bills are looking for. A little bit of depth, a little bit of kind of security here, because they've already proven they can get to the AFC Championship game. They just need to figure out how to win that game, how to scheme to win that game, and I think it's really just coming down to Sean McDermott. I think he clams up. That's what we've been saying. I mean, Josh Allen did not look that great in the playoffs, and I don't think it was based off of his talent, but I think it was just kind of the play calling of the offense of Sean McDermott there in the playoffs. I think he clams up a little bit. So if Sean McDermott can kind of, keep the offensive explosive and dangerous down the field in the playoffs, I think they'll be fine and they can really get to the Super Bowl. But shoring up their running game a little bit here, shoring up their depth, making sure that once, they get into that playoffs, everything's good. We're deep, we're solid, everybody's good to go. We've got some nice playmakers on our team. They just have to go and execute it. But I definitely think Sean McDermott is a little bit too... gonna have to step it up here. You can't just sign third string running backs and expect the Bills to be fine in the playoffs. Sean McDermott, man, I'm telling y'all, I really think that's the one that's holding this Bills team back, and that wasn't just this season. That goes back to 2 seasons ago when they first got into the playoffs and broke that kind of long playoff drought. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's definitely a solid pickup here. This is a solid pickup. Alrighty, let's move on. So Art Rooney's got a couple of quotes here, so we'll start with this one. Art Rooney from the Steelers says, quote, "Steelers always wanted Big Ben Roethlisberger back in 2021. Oh, did you? Because when he originally said he wanted to come back, you were like, okay, we'll have some discussion. So you're a little hesitant. You didn't want, and then you wanted him to take a big old pay cut, which he did, because that's the only way that Big Ben wanted to come, or that's the only way Ben Roethlisberger could come back, was if he took the pay cut. So our Rooney, now that they've signed Big Ben, now that Big Ben has taken the pay cut, he's like, yeah, we've always wanted him back. Obviously, the arm wasn't that great at the end of the season for Ben Roethlisberger. I get it. This is kind of, the one, this is where, kind of business and kind of respect in the NFL industry kind of clash right here. Big Ben, 2-time Super Bowl winners, been here his entire career in Pittsburgh. Now really coming at the end of his career. Just last season couldn't really make it the entire full 16 weeks. Those 16 games that you play in an NFL season couldn't really make it work in the back half, unfortunately. So now it's like, do we respect Ben Roethlisberger by giving him one more year to go out on his own terms, or do we be that kind of selfish, kind of cutthroat business where we just let him go, be like, you know what, thanks for your service, but we still have to have success. You can't provide success anymore, and we still need success because we're a business. So but they signed him back. Art Rooney's saying, yeah, we've always wanted this man back, no doubt. But we only want to give him like $1 million. we want to pay this man in large pizzas. So that's his first quote, and then we get this other quote here. Art Rooney on the Steelers' run game, quote, "We'll be looking for ways to improve in the draft, and there's 2 great running backs out there, Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, all great talent, and we know the Steelers are going to have a very high draft pick." Let's get their official pick here. Because they made the playoffs. And yeah, so they had 11 wins, kind of floundered at the end of the season, but Let's get this up. Draft pick. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe do they trade up to kind of secure a kind of, great running back? Do they even really have anything to trade? Maybe, a wide receiver. They're still kind of deep there, but they got the 24th overall pick in the first round, and then the 23rd overall pick in the second round. So, everybody say, oh, you can't draft a running back in the first round. So if they don't do that, they have to wait till the 23rd pick in the second round. And I can guarantee you Travis Etienne and Najee Harris will not be around in the 23rd pick in the second round. So we'll see what the Steelers do. The running game is something that they are definitely going to have to kind of heavily rely on, because we know that they can't rely on Big Ben's arm at the end of the season, or if they kind of front load the first half of the season with a lot of running to have Big Ben good in the back half of the season and in the playoffs. So they're definitely going to need a running game. We just saw, didn't they just get rid of James Conner? They didn't re-sign that man, so they're going to need something at the running back position. Art Rooney says they are kind of looking for a big old talent there, so don't be surprised if the first round, if the Steelers trade up or if they get a running back at the 24th pick, but we'll see what happens. But we know they are going to go into the draft for a running back. Alrighty, Mike McCarthy, more coaching news here. Mike McCarthy wanted to do cartwheels in the sand after Cowboys signed Dak Prescott to an extension. Well, yeah, he couldn't make Andy Dalton work, and, the only thing that's going to cool the flames on Mike McCarthy getting fired already year one is that he has a good quarterback. That's why, he was kind of, quote, successful in Green Bay, because he was able to kind of hide behind Aaron Rodgers a little bit. He's like, I've got a great quarterback out here. He's winning games. He's being the shield for me. And then when we lose games, I can just be like, Aaron Rodgers, he's just not doing enough out there. We got this great quarterback, but we need greatness to be even greater in kind of clutch situations at the end of the season in playoffs. They only got to one Super Bowl, couldn't win those NFC championship games. So, Mike McCarthy used Aaron Rodgers as a little bit of a deflection shield of why things weren't going really right for the Packers. And now he couldn't really do that with Andy Dalton. When Andy Dalton wasn't doing good, it was like, Mike McCarthy, what's going on with this team? Now that you got Dak Prescott, your franchise guy, you can use him as a shield a little bit. So obviously Mike McCarthy's, wanting to do cartwheels in the sand, knowing that, hey, I've got kind of a scapegoat here for a little bit because I'm not that great of a coach myself. So Mike McCarthy, not a good coach. The Cowboys will not be good as long as Mike McCarthy's there. I mean, that's all there is to it. There is no reason for this Cowboys team to flounder this much. If you want to put it as, kind of first year, I guess, but I mean, the Panthers had basically the same amount of success that the Cowboys had, and they didn't have Christian McCaffrey. That's one of their key players. Yeah, you guys don't have Dak, but the Panthers still kind of decently made it work a little bit. And they don't even have near the talent offensively that the Cowboys do. So yeah, that's really it. I mean, I just can't get behind Mike McCarthy. I don't think he's a great coach. I don't even think he's a good coach, and I don't think the Cowboys will do anything under Mike McCarthy. We know his kind of coaching record kind of phones it in a little bit too much. So we'll see what he does. But now, Mike McCarthy, I don't know why he's doing cartwheels in the sand now that you've signed Dak Prescott. Once he gets healthy, you're going to have to rock with this man. And you're going to have to make this man work to kind of go into the playoffs. You guys have to at least get to the playoffs next season. And kind of you have to get to, you've got to get to the NFC Championship game at some point in kind of the next 4 years under Dak Prescott. So Mike McCarthy, I wouldn't be doing no cartwheels just quite yet. You still got work to do. And if you can't make this team work, we're going to officially label you a trash coach. I don't care. You got carried by Aaron Rodgers to one Super Bowl win. Congratulations. You've done nothing other than that. So we'll see, man. This 2021 NFL season is going to be real interesting, folks. A lot of coaching jobs on the line. Matt Nagy, Mike McCarthy, a lot of quarterbacks having Sean McVay, also another coach to prove now that they got, a better quarterback in Sean McVay's mind. So a lot of quarterbacks on the a lot of coaches on the hot seat, a lot of coaches having to prove their worth in this league. And we'll be following Mike McCarthy with a big old Hawkeye this entire season. So wouldn't be doing cartwheels just quite yet, folks. Alrighty, and then we get another top 10 here. Top 10 from the Eagles. Top 10 plays of 2020. So let's see how many are Carson Wentz. Let's see what Jalen Hurts is doing. And let's see what they've got here. So the top 10 plays of the Eagles. Let's rock it up here. Number 10, we got Carson Wentz here. All right, let's see what this man's doing. Week 1 versus Washington. Going deep. Yes, sir. And this was before all the interceptions came. Week 1 against Washington. That really just kind of ruined them. I mean, they were beating Washington here. They're already up 7-0. I think they ended up going like up 17-0, and then everything just collapsed, and that really begins the downfall of Carson Wentz. So this is what Carson Wentz was doing right before the downfall, folks. This is what he's bringing to Indianapolis right here. The deep ball. Yes, sir. Jalen Reagor with the absolute bomb. He's throwing it from the 15-yard line, getting it all the way down to basically the 30 to 25-yard line. Absolutely fantastic right there. 55 yards, however you want to count it. Carson Wentz, that's what he's doing, folks. That's what he's bringing to the Colts organization. And another one right here. Yes, everything was kind of going wrong by week 4 here for Carson Wentz, but play number 9, another deep ball. And then you got T.Y. Hilton and Pittman Jr. over there as receivers. Look at this ball placement. The deep shots are there. He's throwing this one from the 50-yard line. That's a 40-yard accurate bomb down the field. Do not kind of get bogged down of Carson Wentz interceptions this season. It just did not work out for this season with the Eagles. That's all there is to it. This man can still play. Man, the Colts team are going to be good. Play number 9. All right, another easy pick here. Who's that? Nick Mullins? That man is so trash, man. Oof. Nick Mullins, he is not a good backup, man. Oh, my God. All right, he played number 8 now. Alex Smith. Ooh, big ol' hit there, and it's a pick. Oof, Alex Smith trying to hit the nice little running back in the safety valve route here. And the Eagles defense just steps up in a huge hit, and then he's able to make the pick on top of that too. Woof, that's a great defense play. Mike Epps right there. Look at that. That's concentration. He went for the hit and the pick at the same time, and the ball just somehow falls right into perfectly his arms right here. Watch it again right here. Look at that. Woo! All righty. That's fantastic. Damn. All righty. That's fantastic. All right, moving on to number 7 here. Punt by the Packers. Who's going to return this one all the way? Who do we got here? Ooh, a muffed punt. Picks it back up. And he's gone, baby. Hits the outside, and he is gone. Oh, make it. Oh, Reagor again. Juking around this punter a little bit. Let's watch this one. This is a little disrespectful to the punter right here. Nice little stutter. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, ooh. Making Crosby. Oh, that's not even Crosby anymore. Making the Packers punter look trash there. Can't make the game-saving touchdown tackle. Yeah, man, Reagor, man, woof. Jalen Hurts is going to have fun with that, man, next season, absolutely. Alrighty, play number 6. We get a running play here, and that man is gone. We got to give it up to this man. Who is this man? Miles Sanders. I mean, this man was kind of single-handedly helping out this team. Once again, another game where the Eagles are down 7-0, and it's the running attack that kind of brings them back into it. This was the narrative all season. Carson Wentz couldn't get the offensive started, but Miles Sanders, when the offense was sputtering in the first quarter, the first half of games, he would rip off a big old run for a touchdown. No problem. Easy peasy. I want to say he's got like 3 of these long, like 60, 70-plus rushing touchdowns this season to really jumpstart the offense. So, I mean, if he's going to be able to do this, is this another one here against the Ravens? I mean, once again, down 17-0 here. The offense couldn't do anything all game. Miles Sanders, big old run to jumpstart the offense. They score a touchdown here. Fantastic. Another one. I'm telling you, this was happening multiple times throughout the entire season. Miles Sanders, if he can keep it up next season, especially with Jalen Hurts, his ability, I mean, this offense could be good. Miles Sanders' running attack was absolutely kind of great this entire season. So, watch out for the running game compared with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts handing it off to Miles Sanders, and here we go. Another big old run, and this time the offense wasn't sputtering because Carson Wentz wasn't out there, and another big old run. Fantastic. this running attack, this offensive line, I mean, they can run this kind of inside zone easily every single time. So that's 3 straight big old runs by Miles Sanders. And then who do we get here? Going all down deep. Woof, who threw this ball? Is Carson Wentz? Yes, it is. I mean, folks, come on. Folks, the arm is still there. Do not doubt this man's talent. Yes, he threw a lot of interceptions, but that's fine. Well, it's fine for one season. You got to definitely clean it up, but we've seen him not throw interceptions, so that's why we shouldn't be so worried about him continuing those picks. I really don't think it's going to be a problem there in Indianapolis, but he's throwing this one from the 20-yard line, getting it all the way down to the 30-yard line. Yes, sir. Once again, 50 yards clean. This is clean. Look at how beautiful, accurate that throw is, 50 yards down the field. So you've got 2 great wide receivers there for the Colts. Carson Wentz is going to work there, I'm telling y'all. All right, play number 2, Jalen Hurts here. He is going deep. This is the future for the Eagles right here. A nice, beautiful throw there, and that's Deshaun Jackson running behind the entire defense. When this man was healthy and out there on the field, they've got some nice speed. Miles Sanders, Deshaun Jackson. Unfortunately, Deshaun Jackson's not there anymore. So Jalen Hurts is going to miss this connection. Let's watch this bomb by Jalen Hurts. I mean, he throws it from the 10, gets it all the way down to the 40, 50 yards cleanly. This man can play as well. Let's respect this man. The Eagles, I mean, they really landed in the perfect quarterback market. I mean, Carson Wentz for those 4 years, getting them into the playoffs, for Nick Foles to take over to win the title, and now they've got Jalen Hurts. So the Eagles really have just had a nice, solid 4 or 5 stretch years of great quarterback play, really. And I'm really excited to watch Jalen Hurts play, because I think this man's we're gonna be talking about Jalen Hurts the same way we talk about Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling y'all, this man can play. All right, number 1 play here goes to Carson Wentz. Here we go. Let's see what this man can still do. Ooh, a beautiful dime there in the red zone in the 4th quarter. This man can still play. This man can still be clutch. We're seeing it right here against the Giants. Week 7, down 21-16 in the red zone. 40 seconds left. Throws an absolute beautiful ball to Scott, I believe, there on a nice little wheel route. Look at the accuracy. Once again, gets it over the defender, right where it needs to be, over the back shoulder, kind of high and away. I mean, folks, come on. Look at that accuracy. Oh my, folks, that's fantastic. This man can still play. Do not worry about Carson Wentz. There's really no red flag for this man besides the injury. That's the only red flag that we can still have on Carson Wentz. The interceptions, it was a bad year. The accuracy, the deep ball accuracy, all that is there. The leadership is still there. So new home for Carson Wentz. Let him get acclimated a little bit, and he's ready to rock, and they're going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm telling y'all, the Colts are Super Bowl contenders. I won't even say playoff contenders. I'm going straight to Super Bowl contenders, folks. Alrighty, watch out for the Colts. Carson Wentz is going to get it done, folks, no doubt. Alrighty, let's move on to the NBA stories, and we got to just kind of go over the NBA trade deadline yesterday, so let's just kind of recap everything that went down. So here we go. We'll talk about Lamarcus Aldridge in a second. And Kyle Lowry. Well, we could talk about Kyle Lowry now. So the Raptors decided not to deal him. We've been hearing about Kyle Lowry kind of trade rumors really for the entire weekend. I really didn't get it. I mean, the Raptors, Kyle Lowry's a main piece to that team. He's the main facilitator on the floor, so I really didn't expect them to trade Kyle Lowry, and they don't, so I'm a little vindicated there, I would say. But yeah, I mean, the Raptors weren't really looking for anything. They were kind of saying, you know, the offers for Kyle Lowry were a little disrespectfully light, so that's why they just decided to keep him. This is the last season of the Raptors kind of under Nick Nurse with all these role players. After this season, they'll have to try and do something because it's clearly not working. I mean, they're not even in the playoff tournament, I don't think, right now. Are they top 10 in the East? I think, what was the last time we checked? I think they were like 11 or 12. 11, here it is. So they do have their kind of, you know, it's light work. I mean, they're only a game and a half out from, you know, the play-in tournament, so they can still make it, and I expect them to make it. They have the pieces to make the play-in tournament, just don't have the real pieces to make a deep run, I don't think. Like we said, these are all role players on the team besides Kyle Lowry. We can call him an all-star, superstar, whatever you want. I don't mind that. But Fred VanVleet, Siakam, you know, they just lost Norman Powell, so that's a little bit of a hit, but they did get Gary Trent Jr., so, you know, a little bit of a swap there. But either way, Raptors keeping Kyle Lowry, and I think that's the right decision. Let them have their kind of last full run here, and let's see what they can do. Alrighty, Lonzo Ball also did not get dealt, and another one that I wasn't really quite sure on where we were hearing this. We were hearing so many, rumors about, for the like a week, 2 weeks leading up to the trade deadline that, people were, interested in Lonzo and everybody wanted Lonzo to go to their team, but we weren't buying that. We're not big believers in Lonzo. We think he's decent. We think he's maybe an average, slightly above average, maybe in the passing ability, but it's nothing that you go out and kind of sell out, your future to go and get. I mean, like we said, he didn't make it work with LeBron James. How can you not make it work with that? And then he's, with the Pelicans where he can kind of step it up and, kind of take his experience with, what he learned with the Lakers and LeBron and carry it over and try to be the man and just try to be, the veteran presence, the leader on this team. But this Pelicans team is not even winning games. And they've got scores. They got Zion, Brandon Ingram, and Steven Adams. They still have that. And Josh Hart off the bench. So they still have great scores. But Lonzo's really not making this team any better. I mean, you give me another point guard and, I think they still have the same success that Lonzo's having. So I wasn't really understanding the whole Lonzo Ball trades and everybody wanting him and he doesn't get dealt. So once again, I mean, I wasn't believing in it and he doesn't get dealt. So I'll let y'all decide what that means about our show. Alrighty, this one. I didn't really see this one. I've heard about it, but it was kind of interesting. So, Celtics trade Daniel Tice to the Bulls. I mean, once again, we're not big believers in Daniel Tice, so the Celtics get rid of him. So, they moved Daniel Tice to Chicago, now the Celtics are getting Moritz Wagner in place of Daniel Tice. So, I don't know if Moritz Wagner is any better than Daniel Tice. Mo Wagner is not tier 1 big, tier 2 big even, maybe tier 3 big, which we probably would have put Daniel Tice maybe tier 2. Doesn't get us to double-digit points a game, doesn't get us to double-digit rebounds, so we can't put him in tier 1 or tier 2. Moritz Wagner, kind of the same. He doesn't play a lot of minutes there for Washington, so we'll see what he's able to kind of do here for the Celtics, but I think he's kind of going to be their third big. I think they're going to start promoting Robert Williams a little bit more because we have been decently impressed with Robert Williams these past 2 weeks here. Coming off the bench, I think he's been kind of providing a decent, big kind of just performance all around, defense, offense, better than Daniel Tice because we're not big fans of Daniel Tice. So Celtics get rid of Daniel Tice. Interesting there. He does go to the Bulls. Bulls are kind of fine there. Daniel Tice would actually kind of do decent with the Bulls since they're already kind of good at the center position. Maybe move Daniel Tice to the 4. Maybe have him and Thaddeus Young coming off the bench together. Maybe you have Thaddeus Young go to the 4, the starting 4, or Daniel Tice be the starting power forward at the 4. So we'll see what the Bulls team does with kind of their new pieces and what their lineup's going to be, but they've got some nice kind of beef. If their outside shooters kind of work, if Zach LaVine can still kind of get this same great production, this monster production that we're seeing out of kind of Zach LaVine this year, this is going to be a good Bulls team because they got the bigs. They got Vusuvich, obviously. We're going to talk about that. We already kind of broke it down, but they got Vusuvich in the trade, so that's their starting big. You get still Thaddeus Young out there. Now you get Daniel Tice, so 3 solid bigs there. I mean, I'm good. I like Daniel Tice as a third big, as kind of maybe even a second option, but I don't like him in the starting lineup. Kind of like what we say about Kelly Olynyk. We do like Kelly Olynyk, and he's a good kind of big out there, a good kind of stretch to the floor big that can hit the 3, but we think he's a better kind of bench big than he is in that starting rotation for the Heat, and we'll also talk about that because he got dealt as well. So Celtics trade Daniel Tice to the Bulls. Interesting. So we'll see how he does there for the Bulls, but I think he could do good there. He could do good there. Not a lot of pressure. Let me be the third big. He can definitely do that. That's more of his role in my opinion. Alrighty, so and the Celtics also lose Jeff Teague and Javonte Green in the trade as well for all of that. Alrighty, little trade here. Warriors trade Wanamaker, so they get rid of Brad Wanamaker to the Hornets. That's going to be interesting as well, and another kind of decent kind of big there for the Hornets a little bit. Alrighty, what else do we get here? All right, and this is the big one. This one we haven't talked about. This is the best one, and if we have to we'll do it at the end of kind of who won the trade overall, but I think we got to talk about the Heat as true contenders of winning the NBA trade deadline because they pick up Victor Oladipo from the Rockets, and we kind of said to watch his name because we saw him not playing the last 2 games for the Rockets, even though he was healthy and ready to rock, so that gave us a little bit of, ooh, are they trying to trade him? And they were in the Heat, and this one came like right at 3 o'clock. I mean, like, I didn't even hear about this one until like 3:10, 10 minutes after the trade light ended. So I don't know if Adam Silver let some things slide over there because I did not hear this one before 3 o'clock. I mean, even look at these tweets. 3:11 by Woj. Woj is 11 minutes late on the trade deadline on a big one. This was probably the biggest trade of the night. Victor Oladipo going to the Heat, a championship level caliber team, getting a freaking championship level talent here. I mean, the story speaks for itself, so I don't know what was going on here. I think this may have been a little bit of a late trade, but we'll let it slide because I like it. We'll let it slide because I do like this trade a lot. So Heat get Victor Oladipo, and guess what they gave up? Not that much. Avery Bradley, who hasn't been playing for this team in a while, and then Kelly Olynyk. So you got rid of Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk, and a 2022 pick swap. So you didn't lose a pick, you just swapped it. So you'll get probably a worse pick, unfortunate, but you got some nice players. They still have Goran Dragic, who we absolutely love. So you got Goran Dragic, Jimmy Butler, Victor Oladipo, Tyler Hero. They did a trade. Did they get rid of? No, they still got Kendrick Nunn. Did they deal Kendrick Nunn? No, they still got Kendrick Nunn, right? He just played yesterday for them. Make sure. Kendrick Nunn. They still got Kendrick Nunn, so oh my goodness. I mean, oh my God, they basically gave up nothing and got a real great, solid player in Victor Oladipo, and that's what the Heat are looking for, just solid, reliable three-point shooters, outside scorers. Jimmy Butler, Goran Dragic, Bam Adebayo, they can handle, the ins and outs. They can all shoot the three. Bam Adebayo can play down low. They can facilitate the floor, but they just needed somebody else to kind of be that other third great scoring option because we really haven't been able to rely on Tyler Hero from the three, Duncan Robinson for the three, but that's where Victor Oladipo comes, and now they're getting even deeper, and now just less pressure for Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, so hopefully they can play a little bit more free out there. This Heat team has been this is all they're missing, folks. This is what I didn't know what the Heat were missing, but this is it. It's Victor Oladipo. So I mean, watch out for the starting lineup: Kendrick Nunn, Victor Oladipo, Jimmy Butler, Goran Dragic, Bam Adebayo. Is that going to be their starting lineup? Just absolutely insanity in the scoring department. So oh man, I think so far of all the trades that we've just kind of went over so far today, this is the best one. We'll see if anything kind of upsets that. But oh man, what a great pickup. And I don't really hear a lot of this. I don't hear like everybody on ESPN going wild or everybody on Fox Sports going wild. Do y'all not understand how great of a pick this is for the Heat? I mean, they got rid of Kelly Olynyk. That's not even that bad. We didn't like Kelly Olynyk that much, and I would rather have Victor Oladipo than Kelly Olynyk. Yes, to get a little bit of a little bit less deep at the big department. They're going to have to still play kind of Trevor Reeves a little bit more. Andre Iguodala is going to have to probably see a lot more minutes as well. So hopefully he can kind of, stay up to date a little bit, stay in shape, because we know Andre Iguodala is kind of aging out of the league slowly. So we'll see what happens, but I think this is an absolutely steal for the Heat. Great pickup, and once again, the Heat owner, Pat Riley, just making moves after moves, getting this team. I mean, folks, they just got to the finals last season. You don't think Victor Oladipo is going to be able to beat this Bucks team? Come on. Now they may even be able to kind of compete with the Nets a little bit in the kind of their offensive star firepower. So we'll see what happens, but I love this. Love it. Alrighty, let's keep going now. Alrighty, Raptors trade Terrace Davis to the Kings for a future second-round pick. Nothing really kind of noteworthy there. Alrighty, and this is another interesting trade here, and one I think I like a lot. Clippers trade Lou Williams to the Hawks for Rondo. So that was kind of nice scoring production off the bench for the Clippers. Lou Williams, now he's going to the Hawks, who have a very lackluster bench, but I'm assuming Lou Williams is probably going to find his way into the starting lineup at some point. So I love that for the Hawks. The Hawks just need more depth. They need more playmakers. So I'm all about Lou Williams, a certified player out there. Absolutely. So nice kind of three-point shooting, scoring ability. He can do all of that. So that's what the Hawks are missing, just depth. And they got nice scoring depth there with Lou Williams. And then they traded Rondo. I mean, Rondo wasn't really doing anything for the Hawks team. He was playing very, very minimal minutes off the bench. And I mean, the bench wasn't even that good for the Hawks. So Rondo really couldn't really be utilized to his full potential there. So he goes to the Clippers now, and the Clippers are in desperate need of a true point guard, a good point guard. Patrick Beverley's their starting point guard. You have Rondo coming off the bench. I mean, look what Rondo did for the Lakers in their championship run. Do I have him up? Yeah, right here. Here he is. I mean, absolutely fantastic. He's been coming off the bench for the Lakers in their 2019-2020 NBA championship run. So we'll just go to his let's go to his playoffs, because he was truly getting it done for the playoffs there. Where is it? I just had it. Oh, yeah, right here. Okay. So here we go. Career playoffs for the Lakers in their championship run just from last season. I mean, didn't play the entire first round, but then, I mean, started to come off the bench, just got solid minutes. I mean, look at some of these games right here. 10 points, 9 assists, 21 points, 9 assists, 11 points, 8 assists, 3 points, 5 assists in that second playoff series, so still getting it done. The third playoff series, 7 points, 9 assists, 3 points, 9 assists, 9 points, 8 assists, 11 points, 7 assists, 8 points, 4 assists. And then in the finals against the Heat, 7 points, 4 assists, 16 points, 10 assists, 4 points, 5 assists, 2 points, 5 assists, 4 points, 5 assists. And then in the game 6, 19 points, 4 assists, closing it out, helping the Lakers close it out. So this man could definitely get it done in the playoffs, and that's what the Clippers are looking for, having sustained greatness in the playoffs. So a great pickup by this Clippers team. We'll see how well he works. I mean, I don't know. Did Rondo just kind of drop off from last season into this season, or was it the Hawks team that really just made Rondo not that great? And I'm going to go with it's the Hawks team that made Rondo not so great. So not a great fit there for Rondo this season for the Hawks. What is he doing? I mean, he only started 2 games, so he's still coming off the bench, and that's fine. I mean, he's aging out of this league a little bit. So he can definitely give you a great production off the bench, as we just saw what he did with the Lakers last season, now back in LA with the Clippers. But this season with the Hawks, I mean, he's averaging 3 points and, 3 assists. So, I mean, nothing really great. But like we said, I think we're going to kind of chalk that up to a lackluster kind of Hawks team, especially in their depth off the bench. So, great pickup for both of these teams. The Hawks get a good shooter, good scorer, which they need, and the Clippers get a nice little facilitator that can kind of facilitate the second team. That's what they need. So fantastic all the way around. Everybody wins there. Alrighty, what else do we get here? Here we go. Alrighty, Blazers acquire Raptors, Norman Powell. I love this as well. Truly great for both teams, I think. Raptors get another kind of younger piece, a nice scorer piece off the bench. And the Blazers, I mean, they get a kind of solidified score here in Norman Powell. I mean, he's averaging 19 points a game. That's what the Blazers need. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what they kind of do in their starting lineup. We just saw CJ McCollum go absolutely nuts in the first quarter of last game, but he kind of fizzled out a little bit in the fourth quarter, a little bit. So I still think CJ McCollum's still going to get the starting shooting guard role. Norman Powell. I think, did we see Norman Powell play the 3 there for the Raptors? Because that could be pretty good. Have Derrick Jones Jr. come off the bench, elevate Norman Powell to kind of the 3. So you have Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and Norman Powell, 1, 2, 3 starting in the starting lineup. And then I think that would be better for Derrick Jones Jr. to come off the bench, because I don't think his game is truly in a starting rotation right now. Hasn't really truly impressed us, and kind of, he has nice athleticism. That's what we really love. But, in the points, assists, rebounding, doesn't really do too much consistently. He's a decent defender. So that's why he's kind of out there right now. But I think Norman Powell could go at the 3 a little bit here for the Blazers and make it work. So, and then that just gives, the Blazers just more depth off the bench. Carmelo Anthony, Derrick Jones Jr., that's what we're talking about. Yusuf Nurkic, if he ever freaking comes back. But I think it's an absolute steal for both teams here. I mean, both got something they need. Raptors getting a little bit more depth. I mean, that's kind of what they're missing. They just kind of need a solid kind of bench piece. Their starters can all get it done. They've still got nice scores in their offensive lineup, so I don't think they'll miss Norman Powell too much, especially you'll get, decent compensation in the points department with Gary Trent Jr., and they also got Rodney Hood. So once again, just making the Raptors a little bit more deep. So clear win for both sides, in my opinion. Alrighty, the Sixers get George Hill Grant Hill George Hill. I was right. What am I talking about? In a 3-team trade. So that's pretty good for them. Kind of just shoring up their bench a little bit. A nice little kind of forward for them. Alrighty, Heat add Kings Namaji Jellica. That's kind of solidifying their bigs because they just lost Kelly Olynyk, so they had to get another big. So kind of a good solid pickup here. Alrighty, and then probably the last blockbuster trade here, Nuggets for Aaron Gordon, folks. Magic trade Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets. Now the Nuggets, very, very good here. I mean, just getting another big here to kind of help out Vusuvich a little bit. We'll see where Aaron Gordon plays. How does Michael Porter Jr. kind of fit into that? Does he go to the 4? Gordon goes to the 3. Does Gordon go to the 4? Michael Porter Jr. stays at the 3? Or does Michael Porter Jr. just come off the bench? And I do like Michael Porter Jr.'s game. And he's kind of, been outspoken, saying that he wants a larger role in this offensive scheme for the Nuggets. So he probably won't like going down to the bench, but we'll see kind of how it plays out to have all these stars in the starting lineup. And Aaron Gordon, he kind of wants to be a star. Jokic, I mean, he's the star of the team, putting up 30 points a game with like 12 rebounds. Jamal Murray, he's kind of a little bit not too much ball dependent, but I mean, he could put up to 25 points as well every single game. So it's going to be interesting to see how this offense works. It's a lot of great scores, a lot of scoring potential here in the starting lineup. I think one player is going to have to slide down to the bench, and it's definitely not going to be Vusuvich, and it's definitely not going to be Jamal Murray. So we'll see how the starting lineup shakes out for the Nuggets. But, I mean, just getting deeper, getting better, more pieces, and, I mean, that's what the Nuggets are looking for, just more kind of scoring potential here to kind of beat some of these other kind of high-powered offensive teams that they will be facing in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens here for the Nuggets. I'm definitely interested to see what they do for their starting lineup. All right, what else do we get here? Bulls get who is this? Who is that? They get Mo Wagner and Chandler Hutchinson. We already kind of previewed the Mo Wagner. All right, Celtics, here we go. Let's talk about them. They land Evan Fournier from the Magic. Like we said, we were kind of clowning the Celtics yesterday when we were talking about the trade deadline that Aaron Gordon got dealt, Vusuvich got dealt, and Evan Fournier got dealt. And the Celtics, who kind of needed a solid, better big, they went with Evan Fournier out of the 3 that, the kind of 2 other kind of good bigs that you could have landed. Aaron Gordon would have made it probably the Celtics starting lineup a little wonky, with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But, I mean, you put, Jason Tatum at the 4, you could put Aaron Gordon at the 4 as well. I think that would work, and then Daniel Tice at the 5 still, but we know he's not there anymore. But still, just kind of what potentially could have happened. And then if like we said, if the Celtics got Vusuvich, oh my goodness, that would have been a championship level team. They really could have rivaled the Nets to come out of the East, honestly. But they did not do that. They went with Evan Fournier. Once again, kind of interesting. I mean, they definitely just need scoring depth. They don't have any depth, but they just got rid of their big Daniel Tice, so they don't kind of have that big depth now. They're really kind of doubling down on Tristan Thompson and Robert Williams, and I really think that's kind of a bad decision. I'm not truly impressed with either of those bigs, but I think the Celtics really should have went a little bit harder to get a better kind of proven talent big. Give me the double-digit points. Give me the double-digit assists, because that's something that the Celtics are truly lacking there in their big department. But they land Evan Fournier, so we'll see what they do. We'll see kind of how their starting lineup kind of shakes out. I'm kind of predicting Marcus Smart maybe drops out of the starting lineup, comes down to the bench, or maybe they move Marcus Smart to the 4 for their small ball rotation. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But Evan Fournier, they get a decent score, and once again, that's kind of what the Celtics need. They just need depth and good bigs, and I don't know if Evan Fournier kind of solves their depth problems that much. So we'll see how this kind of works out for the Celtics. Still not believing in I'm still not big believers in the Celtics team, but Alrighty. Keep on going here because there's still one we have not talked about. And there it is. Magic trade Vusuvich to the Bulls and absolutely love it. Like we said, the Bulls just shoring up their offensive line. They've got the bigs now. They're all good on bigs. They don't need any more good bigs out there. Having Vusuvich and Thaddeus Young and still, Zach LaVine. He's a shooting guard, but he's still a decent size out there who could play some good defense. So, the Bulls just making a real push here to get into the play-in tournament, to get a playoff spot, and I'm all about it. I'm big on what this Bulls team can do. Zach LaVine, are we going to talk about this story when we get there? Yeah, I got it up. The most points scored in the fourth quarter this season, it's Zach LaVine with 301 points in the fourth quarter alone. So, scoring is really not their problem, just kind of, defensive big, low post defense, so they're going to shore that up with Vusuvich. Vusuvich has no problem scoring as well. He could put up the 25 to 30 plus points every single night while getting the double-digit rebounds, while getting some probably 5. What is he averaging for assists? Because I want to say it's pretty dang good. So let's get that up really quickly. I want to say this man is averaging like 29, 11, and 7. I want to say it's something wild like that. 24, 11, and 3. Oh, a little bit lighter. A little bit lighter on the points and the assists than I was thinking. But, he can get us to 30, the 25 plus when we need it. The 11 rebounds right on par. The 3 assists. I want to see some games because I know there's some games where this man's gotten a triple-double. Is there a way that we can just look up triple-doubles really quickly? Let me just break it down. 30 double-doubles, 1 triple. He's only got 1 triple-double already. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, little wrong there, but we still like Vusuvich. That doesn't change. still the points and the rebounds. That's what we're looking for there, and that's what he's going to bring to the team. So great pickups here by the Bulls here at the trade deadline. It's going to definitely make them interesting for sure. Some nice pieces here to kind of shore up their team a little bit, and let's see how it all kind of works together. And then the kind of trade that set everything off. The first one, I think, of the day yesterday. Cavs trade JaVale McGee to the Nuggets. So once again, the Nuggets just getting another kind of depth piece there for JaVale McGee. And I've kind of been secretly impressed with JaVale McGee this season, still making it work, even though he's kind of aging out of this league, taking a kind of a big step back on this kind of final couple of seasons here, kind of ring chasing a little bit. When he went to the Warriors, kind of coming off the bench, limited role there. Same thing with the Lakers. Him and Dwight Howard were really kind of splitting series. Who's going to play off the bench? And now he's here with the Cavs, but now got sent to the Nuggets. So we'll see if the Nuggets, watch JaVale McGee get a ring with the Warriors, the Lakers, and the Nuggets here and close out on some nice kind of championship runs here. And I think that's the last one. Alrighty, so that's kind of the recap of the NBA trade deadline. There are a couple of names that are getting buyouts, so let's kind of go over these now. Andre Drummond, we've all known that he was the first real big name really kind of out there for trades, but he does not go anywhere because nobody's going to trade for him when, he wants to get out and they're not playing him because they're either going to trade him or buy him out. So no team really traded for Andre Drummond for that reason, so they end up buying him out. The Cavs do buy him out, so now he's able to go wherever he wants, sign with whatever team he wants. So the teams that are kind of, the biggest suitors for Andre Drummond are the Lakers, the Knicks, the Clippers, the Celtics, and the Hornets. If he goes to the Lakers, absolutely fantastic. They need something in the meantime while LeBron James, because we're going to see in a second, he's out for 4 to 6 weeks, folks. Not great. Anthony Davis could be back in 2 weeks, but Andre Drummond here, shore up their team a little bit more. And then if you have Andre Drummond, I don't know where you would put him. Maybe the 4, LeBron at the 3, Anthony Davis at the 5, Andre Drummond at the 4, possibly, or Andre Drummond comes off the bench with oh man, we love that man. Montrezl Harrell. So, we could be looking at some nice big depth here for the Lakers. I love it. I absolutely love it. LeBron James, he just wants some bigs or a shooting guard or like a point guard that can shoot or score the ball. So, he's got the big in Anthony Davis, shoring up the big with Andre Drummond. I'm absolutely all about it. The Knicks. I don't think he'll go to the Knicks. They got really Julius Randle out there. You could put Andre Drummond at the 5, and have both of them out there. That could be pretty good. But I don't think Andre Drummond's going to go to the Knicks. I think he wants to go to a little bit of a more playoff caliber, championship level caliber team where the Knicks are a bunch of role players that are kind of exceeding everybody's expectations. That's why they're kind of in the playoff hunt right now. So I don't know how sustainable it is for how long. I think Andre Drummond might choose the Lakers over the Knicks. The Clippers, once again, a championship level caliber team. He goes there absolutely fantastic. He can challenge. He'll get the starting job over Serge Ibaka. But then Serge Ibaka coming off the bench. That's what he did for who was it? The Raptors last season. I think he came off the bench for them and he was absolutely fantastic. So I've got no problem with Serge Ibaka coming off the bench. Andre Drummond being the center for them, and that could be a real good team. The Celtics, yes. Go to the Celtics. They need the big. They need the big. So if Andre Drummond goes to the Celtics, like I said, that will make them a championship level caliber team. They just need a good big. If they got Vusuvich, like I said, it would have made them a championship level caliber team. If they get Andre Drummond, same thing. He's not as good as Vusuvich, but he's still up there. He can get you the double-digit points, the double-digit rebounds, a nice defense in the post as well. So great for them. And then the Hornets, I would love if he went to the Hornets. Absolutely. I like what this Hornets team is. And, Cody Zeller's all right. But if you have Andre Drummond and Cody Zeller coming off the bench, now we're talking about a real good team out here. But once again, like we say, Hornets not a championship level caliber team quite yet. Still kind of in that playoff caliber team. So we'll see how they kind of make their run for Andre Drummond. But I would say Lakers probably 1, Clippers 2, Celtics 3. But if he goes to the Celtics, watch out for the Celtics, truly. Alrighty, and then we kind of had the same situation going on with Lamarcus Aldridge. We saw the Spurs are going to be buying him out. Or they were trying to trade him, but once again, you're not going to trade for somebody that they're going to get rid of, so they are going to buy him out, and now he's going to have conversations with the Miami Heat, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nets, before deciding on his next destination. So once again, kind of just for the Lakers and Clippers, shoring up their beef a little bit more. Same thing with the Heat. The Heat just lost Kelly Olynyk, so maybe, have Lamarcus Aldridge play the 4, come off the bench, so getting a little bit deeper there. So it could definitely go to the Heat and make that, wherever he goes, all these teams listed right here are already championship level caliber teams that will just put the icing on the cake and really kind of just put them above every other team here. And if he goes to the Nets, it's just going to be unfair at this point, and we're going to have Adam Silver to step in at some point and be like, all right, enough, Nets, enough, KD, Kyrie, James Harden, Blake Griffin, enough. Let other people have some players, damn. So we'll see what we get there. I don't know how fast we should probably expect them. I wouldn't probably expect them today. But who knows? And as I say that, I go to update and refresh. But, yeah, nothing has come out yet. So probably expect maybe late next week, I would say. See where he goes. Because, he could take his time a little bit. Ain't no pressure on that man. He can sign whenever he wants. So that's the trade deadline, folks. No Lamarcus Aldridge trade. No Andre Drummond trade. No Lonzo Ball trade, thank goodness. And some nice additions. And if we have to kind of just say who won the trade overall, I got to give it up to the Heat, man. Getting Victor Oladipo, exactly what they needed. A nice score on their team. A nice consistent score on that team. I should kind of clarify a little bit more. We know Jimmy Butler's consistent. We know Goran Dragic is consistent. That's why they've been winning games, because they're both in the lineup together. But Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn is decently consistent as well. But Victor Oladipo, the most consistent of those names that we just mentioned, besides Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic, because they're kind of on the same level. So I got to give it up to the Heat for the winners. They are easily the winner there. Bulls definitely second winner there of getting a lot of nice pieces there. A loser of the trade, let's call, the Magic. They got rid of everybody. They got rid of all their pieces. Now they're building for the future. I think they've got 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, so 4 nice picks. So, but once again, like we say, no draft pick in the NBA really kind of comes out year 1 and makes a huge impact. It really takes 3, 4, 5 seasons for them to get, to that starting caliber level of player that we see, with every other team. So, yeah, I would probably say the Magic, big old losers there. Getting rid of everybody, Vusuvich and Aaron Gordon. I thought they would trade one, not both. Yeah, I think that might be the only loser. I think everybody else did pretty solid. Nuggets maybe the 3rd biggest winner. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd probably say Heat, Bulls, Nuggets as top 3 winners. Celtics, maybe a little bit of a loser. Getting Evan 48, that's so comical to me. Yeah, so let's officially declare it. Heat win the 2021 NBA trade deadline. There it is. Alrighty, let's continue on here with the NBA stories quickly. Like we said, I mean, most points scored in the fourth quarter of the season. We bring it up because of Zach LaVine, but I also kind of want to just shout out, Damian Lillard's number 3 at 281. Giannis is at number 2 with 287, so fantastic. And then Trae Young is number 5 at 261. So some nice players out here. Clutch scores, clutch players, Bulls, Zach LaVine, Blazers, Damian Lillard, Hawks, Trae Young, all getting it done, and all in the playoff contention. And then the last one to talk about, we touched on briefly, but LeBron James expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Damn it! With that, with his ankle injury, ankle injury. So he's out 4 to 6 weeks. Big ol' loss there. We'll see how the Lakers are not going to win a game until one of these two players come back, and AD is about 2 weeks away from returning. So AD is going to have to hold it down for those 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks period before LeBron James can get back, and hopefully the Lakers don't drop too much because they will not be winning any games for this next 2 weeks while Anthony Davis is out, as we just saw yesterday, as we just bet on last night, and as we just hit on last night. There it is. So those are the timetables for LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Alrighty, that's all the stories to go over. Geez, we just spent an hour on stories because that NBA trade deadline, folks, a lot going on there. So nice little recap there, some nice stories. So let's head over to the NBA. We'll go over the games from last night, kind of preview just a little bit. Then we'll go a little bit deeper into the stats. Then we'll do our moneymaker for today's action, and then we'll head over to the NFL draft prospect of the day. So here we go. Let's start here. Blazers, Heat. Blazers get the win. Heat had no Jimmy Butler, so kind of don't expect them to win for that. But it was close, and the Blazers get the win. We do get, do we got film from this one? Yes, we do. Damian Lillard, once again, winning the game. Clutch Damian Lillard, Dame time. Yes, sir. When will y'all learn? When will y'all respect this man? Because he's an MVP candidate, folks. He's the clutchest player in this league. So just last night, game tied at 122 apiece with 5.9 seconds left. Damian Lillard's got the ball, just toying with the defender right here. Step back three-pointer, doesn't go, but he gets fouled on the three-point attempt. There it is. Bingo, right on the forearm. Clear foul. Give that man 3 free throws. He drains all 3 free throws, wins the game. Damian Lillard, we've seen him multiple facets of winning games this season. 3-pointers that actually fall, mid-range jumpers that fall to win the game, winning the game defensively, getting the nice steal / block to kind of stop them from scoring their buzzer beater to tie or win the game. And then we just see him winning the game at the free throw line. I think the last 2 games he won the game were actually at the free throw line. So hey, however you get it done, just get us the win, and that's what he's doing out here. So once again, this man needs to be in the discussion for MVP, winning games, closing out, being the closer, being clutch. There is no other player in the NBA currently that is as clutch as Damian Lillard. I don't want to hear it, folks. So Damian Lillard gets the job done. So we can go a little bit deeper into these stats now. I mean, a lot of people stepped up for this Heat team, so we can definitely shout out some of those players, but let's start here with the Blazers since they won. Damian Lillard, 22 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds. He shot 2 of 8 from 3 and 31% from the field, so didn't shoot well, but hey, when it came down to clutch time, that man steps it up, so we can forgive the poor shooting performance because it still results in a win, so that's all we're looking for. CJ McCollum, 35 points, 8 assists. He shot 56% from the field, 6 of 14 from 3. Fantastic kind of first quarter. I think he really did kind of front load all of these points there and really kind of was not clutch in the fourth quarter, missing a ton of shots there. But that's where Damian Lillard steps up, folks. Yes, sir. So those two combined get it done. Different areas of the game, different times of the game, and they were able to get the win. Enes Kanter, yes, sir, 18 points, 16 rebounds, 9 of those offensive. Bam Adebayo also had a good game as well, so both kind of just thriving there at the big positions. Robert Covington, 10 points, 6 rebounds, and Derrick Jones Jr., 6 points, 3 rebounds. So not really sure. If we just kind of take a look, well, let's kind of finish off their bench real quick. Carmelo Anthony, 20 points, 6 rebounds, yes, sir, on 42% shooting and 4 of 7 from 3. Once again, Carmelo Anthony, he's not done, folks. This is a solid bench player coming out here. So fantastic there. But now now that they get Victor Oladipo, where is he going to kind of, or not Victor Oladipo, now that they got Norman Powell, where is he going to kind of fit in this kind of roster? Is he going to come off the bench? Because if we get Carmelo Anthony and Norman Powell off the bench, I'm all about that, truly. But if he's going to be in the starting lineup, maybe, you know, Derrick Jones Jr. coming off the bench, him and Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench. I like that as well. And then you get a nice little three-point shooter at the three, better than Derrick Jones Jr. Doesn't really score the ball, doesn't really rebound or assist too much. Mostly defense is kind of his expertise there on the floor. So we'll see what happens with the starting lineup. But whatever happens, their bench gets better, they get deeper, and I'm all about it. So whatever they choose to do, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this Blazers team, nice little addition there of Norman Powell. Alrighty, now we go to the Heat. Obviously, no Avery Bradley since he is getting traded. Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic both out, not playing. Kelly Olynyk also did not play because he got traded as well. So, a lot of other people stepped up here. Bam Adebayo, 29 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. Great game by him. Kendrick Nunn, 22 points, 5 assists. Tyler Hero off the bench, 29 points, 8 assists. So, he shot 5 of 9 from 3. So, a great night by Tyler Hero finally. I mean, we haven't seen a great night by him in forever. I would say probably last season in the bubble was the last time Tyler Hero had a really great game. So he steps it up here. Hopefully he can start doing that a little bit more when Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic are both out there. So we'll see what happens. But guess who doesn't really step up that much? Duncan Robinson, 12 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Shot 66%, 4 of 6 from 3. So, you know, for that, he was efficient. But, you know, we need scoring. We need scoring production, definitely without Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic. Luckily, we got a lot from Kendrick Nunn, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. But, you know, if Duncan Robinson, you know, scored a little bit more, definitely would have helped him, obviously, in this close 3-point loss. But he played actually very well for not having their main players out there. And then let's shout out Trevor Ariza, because we are going to start seeing a lot more of him in the starting rotation now that they don't have Kelly Olynyk. So Trevor Ariza, 9 points, 5 rebounds, a minus 23 on the floor, the largest by far. So he's really going to have to shore up that defense, capability out there. But yeah, watch out for this Heat team. I mean, they just got Victor Oladipo. Now where is he going to kind of fit in this starting lineup? I mean, Jimmy Butler at the 3, Kendrick Nunn at the 1, maybe move Goran Dragic off the bench to get a nice facilitator off the floor in that capacity, or you run Victor Oladipo at the 1, Goran Dragic at the 2, have Kendrick Nunn come off the bench. I think that's kind of what they're going to go to, either Goran Dragic, Victor Oladipo at the 1 or 2, whatever it's going to shake out, they're going to be the starting guards, and then having Kendrick Nunn come off the bench. That's probably what's going to happen. But we'll have to wait for the first game with everybody in the starting lineup to get kind of, you know, obviously what's actually happening. But the Blazers get the win, 125-122 over the Heat. Alrighty, now let's go to the Wizards and the Knicks. Nothing really too noteworthy for both of these teams. In kind of regards to the trade deadline, but the Knicks able to kind of get it done in the fourth quarter. Wizards kind of led this game in the first half of the game, but the Knicks came back in the second half in the fourth quarter to get the win. So very well done to the Knicks. Let's see what happened on their team. RJ Barrett, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Fantastic work by him. Didn't shoot well, but everything else was pretty good. Shot 31% from the field. Julius Randle, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Once again, he did not shoot well either, 31%. Mitchell Robinson at the 5, 6.7 rebounds. Frank Ntilikina, 0 points, 4 rebounds on only 15 minutes and 0 of 2 from the field. And then to round out their starters, Elfrid Payton, 8 points, 4 rebounds on 37% shooting. So, oh goodness, they did not shoot well in the starting lineup, but they got great production from their bench, which is something that they need. I mean, this is like the Raptors, folks. This Knicks team is like the Raptors. They need all their, well, a little bit different than the Raptors, because Raptors, they need all their stars to get it done. They're really not that deep in the bench, but this Knicks team, they don't have the great starting capabilities that the Raptors do, so they need their bench to kind of have great, solid productions every single night, and they did it here. So here we go. Taj Gibson, 10 points, 8 rebounds on 60% shooting. Alec Burks, 27 points, 6 rebounds, and Emmanuel Quickley, 16 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, all coming off the bench. So fantastic production from them, and they're able to squeak away a win there. over the Wizards. All right, now the Wizards, they did not trade Bradley Beal, which we did not think was going to happen, so he stays in Washington. 26 points for Bradley Beal, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. Russell Westbrook, 13 points, 9 assists, 18 rebounds. All defensive, though, only 1 offensive. Classic Russell Westbrook. And he had 8 turnovers to go along with that. Once again, way too much, and he shot trash. 20% from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. So, the rebounds is great. The rebounds is great. The 9 assists is great. The 13 points, a little light. The 8 turnovers, it just cannot happen. We say this every day. We say this every game that they play. It's way too much. It's way too much. So the goon squad here, the goon squad here for the Wizards, just not enough to get it done. Rui Hachimura, 21 points, 9 rebounds. Garrison Matthews, 16 points, 3 assists. And Alex Len, 7 points, 3 rebounds. If they had a better big, definitely would have helped out. Robin Lopez, 10 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. And then Raul Neto, 9 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. So once again, just the Wizards, nothing really great. Knicks are able to kind of pull all their players from the starting and bench to get it done, where the Wizards, they really can't rely on anybody else besides Russ Westbrook and Bradley Beal. I mean, that's their problem. Rui Hachimura, I mean, is kind of in and out of good performances. Davis Bertans is kind of a nice, solid piece for them, but he's kind of in and out of the starting, or in and out of being healthy off the bench, for the last couple of weeks. So Knicks get the win, 106-102 over the Wizards. Wizards didn't do anything at the trade deadline, and I do not expect them to make the playoffs now. Alrighty, Clippers and the Spurs now in their back-to-back meeting, so we stayed away from them, even though we were tempted to take, what was it, Clippers -6 or something, and they win by 13, so we should have taken that. That was good value. We stayed away from it, though, because it was in a back-to-back. No Kawhi Leonard, no Serge Ibaka, no Marcus Morris, and the Clippers are still able to get the win. So Paul George, 24 points, 4 assists, 13 rebounds. Didn't shoot the best, 35% from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Not terrible. Reggie Jackson had a great game here, 28 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Zubac, 10 points, 13 rebounds, 7 of those boards offensive. Patrick Patterson, 7 points, and then Terrence Mann, who steps in for Kawhi Leonard at the 3, 10 points, 12 rebounds. Not terrible there. Nobody really great off the bench. Amir Coffey, 8 points. Nicholas Batum, 6 points, 8 rebounds. So decent, I would say, bench production, but able to get it done with their starters. And then the Spurs, I mean, only put up 85 points, nothing really great there. They didn't make any moves at the trade deadline, so I don't know what to make of the Spurs team. I mean, yeah, they have good defense, but they really just don't have any really dangerous, threatening, scoring capabilities on their team. DeMar DeRozan, 23 points, 4 rebounds. Keldon Johnson, 5 points, 8 rebounds. Jacob Poeltl, 11 points, 8 rebounds. Derek White, 11 points. And DeJounte Murray, 18 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. So nothing really great. DeMar DeRozan's their best player, we all know. And then off their bench, I mean, Patty Mills, 3 points. Rudy Gay, 7 points. I mean, just nothing really deep points-wise. Nothing scary in this starting lineup points-wise. So Spurs lose. They'll have to focus on their defense a little bit like they do. I mean, that's what the Spurs are. As long as Greg Popovich is there, that's going to be good defense. But, I mean, it's just not threatening. If I go against the Spurs, I'm not worried about not winning the game. I mean, like, we're going to put up more points. I would expect us to put up more points because I'm not going to get bogged down by DeMar DeRozan. I'll give him his 25+. That's fine. Nobody else is going to give us the 15+ points that they need to win the game anyway. So Clippers win without Kawhi Leonard. Good job, Paul George, of leading the squad finally. Alrighty, then brings us to the 76ers and the Lakers. Our moneymaker from last night. We only had a one-teamer going, and we hit it. So fantastic. Let's get back on track, and we just did just that last night. So 76ers win by 8. A little bit more of a heavy win there. I think they just got outscored in the fourth quarter by 10. I mean, that was really it. The game was over going into the fourth quarter. Anyway, they were up by like 20 points at the end of 3. So really no worries there from the 76ers. So So 76ers -6. They win by 8. Bingo, bango, good there. Now, 76ers still had no Joel Embiid, but no problem for them. Everybody's still stepping it up, and that's fantastic. I mean, they are facing a little bit of lackluster talent ever since Joel Embiid has went down. No really great wins, but hey, making the most of it, still winning. We're not going to penalize you for that. So Ben Simmons, 9 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. He shot awful. Classic Ben Simmons. Seth Curry, finally, 19 points, 2 assists, 4 of 8 from 3, 53% from the field overall. Fantastic. Mike Scott filling in for Joel Embiid, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Alrighty, very lackluster on what Joel Embiid does. Tobias Harris, 17 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds on 80% shooting. Yes, sir. Consistent. Man, if I could give consistent NBA player award, I'm giving it to Tobias Harris, folks. I'm giving it to Tobias Harris. I love it. Joe Harris? Yeah, Joe Harris, right? No, Joe, whoever is, the Nets. Joe, what the heck is that man's name? We say it all the time. We love it. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Joe on the Nets team. I would also give him most consistent award as well. All right, let's finish off here in the starting lineup. Danny Green, finally he steps up. Great game by him. 28 points, 5 rebounds, 8 of 12 from 3. Yes, sir. Finally, Danny-ius, Greenius steps it up big time here. Led the scores for the 76ers, able to get them past the Lakers without LeBron and AD. So great work by Danny Green. We can't say it often, so when we say it, we gotta really just kind of savor this moment. Everybody listening right now, savor this moment. Danny Green, 28 points of 8 of 12 from 3. Fantastic work. All right, Dwight Howard, he was having a great night until he got ejected. Kind of, lame. Him and Montrezl Harrell got into it a little bit, but nothing eject worthy. A lot of talking going on. That's basically why the ejection got called. But yeah, it goes out early in the first quarter. 6 minutes played, 6 points. He was looking real good out there, but he got ejected, and the 76ers were still able to get it done without their second kind of best big that they got out there. So very well done. Truly well done by everybody on this 76ers team to step it up. And let's just shout out quickly Shake Milton with the 12 points off the bench. Great work out there. All right, now we go to the Lakers now. Who did not step up? Why did they not win the game? So here we go. Dennis Schroeder, 20 points, 11 assists. He did actually really good out there. KCP, 19 points, 4 rebounds. Marcus All, 5 points. Markieff Morris, 5 points, 5 rebounds. Kyle Kuzma, 25 points, 9 rebounds. 3 of 9 from 3 and 42% overall. So we get 20-plus points by Dennis Schroeder and Kyle Kuzma, and they still lose the game. Darn it. Off the bench, we get Montrezl Harrell, 20 points, 8 rebounds. He shot well, 61%. Classic. Montrezl Harrell doing real good out there, getting Dwight Howard ejected, so doing even more than the stat sheet implies. But I mean, this is great by the big three here. Now that AD and no LeBron, Kyle Kuzma, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell all having 20-plus points. KCP even with 19, that's real good as well. Just unfortunately came up a little bit short. Danny Green was on this game, so, unfortunately the Lakers just ran into a hot Danny Green, unfortunately. So Lakers continue to lose, and we expect that with no LeBron and AD. And that brings us to the last game of the night, the Warriors and the Kings, and the Warriors are without Steph Curry. So once again, that's why we expect them to lose. Let's see who stepped it up here for the Kings. I mean, this Kings team has no problem putting up 130, 140 points every single game. They do not care. They've got the offense to do so. So here we go. Kings, Darren Fox, 44 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds. Tyrese Halliburton, 21 points. Fantastic. He shot well, 6 of 7 from 3. Fantastic. Raquan Holmes, 25 points, 11 rebounds. Just eating down low on the Warriors. Harrison Barnes, 2 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. He shot awful, 1 of 10, but still able to make it up in other ways in this game. And Buddy Hield, 16 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 of 9 from 3, 54% overall from the field. So everybody in that starting lineup, holy cow. How do you have somebody go for 44 points and then you still get 2 other players in 20-plus points and then you get another starter in 16 points? Woo, man, if this Kings team, if they had like a little bit of a better defense or something, they could be an absolutely dangerous team. They are all working together, and like we said, they are just putting up points after points after points after points. And let's go back to the story really quickly. I mean, Darren Fox is the fourth leading fourth quarter scorer this season, right under Damien Lillard with 267 points. So, in the fourth quarter alone. So this Kings team, like we say, sneaky, dangerous offensively, and they just showed it by putting up 141 points. Holy cow! And let's just shout out their bench very quickly. Who do they got? Kyle Gay with 17 points off the bench. Fantastic work, but most of it was just the starters getting it done. Cannot stop them. Alrighty, now let's go to the Warriors now. No Draymond Green, no Steph Curry, truly unfortunate. So let's see who steps up here. Jordan Poole, 17 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Kelly Oubre Jr., 19 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. I mean, Kelly Oubre Jr.'s got to step it up. There's no reason Darren Fox can have 44 points and Kelly Oubre Jr. only putting up 19 points with no Steph Curry. Go and demand the ball, command the ball, just go wild, but he doesn't. James Wiseman, 6 points, 8 rebounds. Once again, he is not panning out great as a starter. Truly unfortunate. Juan Toscano Anderson, 15.6 rebounds. Great night by him, and he shot 100%, so I got to give it up to him. Andrew Wiggins, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 3 of 5 from 3, 55% overall. Can always count on Andrew Wiggins, man. Can count on him. Can't count on Kelly Oubre Jr., who I want to be counting on without Steph Curry in the lineup. But alrighty, that was the NBA from last night. We hit our moneymaker. Fantastic. Let's hit it again. Let's see what we got on tap today for Friday. Ooh, we got a doubleheader. I didn't think we were going to get a doubleheader on a Friday, but we do. Fantastic. Alrighty, so here we go. We got Nets Pistons. Let's see if James Harden's back in the lineup. Let's see if Kyrie Irving's back in the lineup. He just had a baby, so probably not. Suns, Raptors, Celtics, Bucks, 7:30 on ESPN. I doubt. Well, Daniel Tice isn't going to be there, so that's going to be interesting for the Celtics. But we'll see if who is it? Who's their guy? Who's their guy that they just got? We just went over it. Evan Fournier. We'll see if he makes his debut here for the Celtics. All right, so Celtics, Bucks, 7:30 on ESPN. Heat, Hornets, Blazers, Magic, Rockets, T-Wolves, Nuggets, Pelicans. Ooh, is everybody going to be good to go for this Nuggets team? They're going to get their new look Nuggets in. Pacers, Mavericks, Grizzlies, Jazz, Hawks, Warriors, 10 o'clock on ESPN, the second of the doubleheader. Warriors are probably going to lose big. I think Steph Curry is still going to be out for this game as well. And then the last game, Cavs, Lakers. Lakers should lose, so we'll see what we get. Alrighty, let's refresh our lines here. Let's get them up to date here. And let's go 2 for 2 on our moneymaker. Let's beef this moneymaker up a little bit more. Alrighty. Is this not refreshing? What's going on? What's going on here? Refresh. Alrighty. I don't know why this isn't like refreshing. Are we even still live? We're still live. Alrighty. We still on air? We still on air. Alrighty. There we go. Just took a little bit. Alrighty. Here we go. Lines are up to date. Alrighty, so here we go. First matchup up. Nets minus 5.5 over the Pistons. Interesting to note there. So let's see. Nets minus 5.5. Hopefully, if James Harden is playing, we're taking that all day. Let's see who's out. Kevin Durant is out. James Harden, game time decision. Kyrie out. Once again, he just had a baby. But James Harden, game time decision. So I'm assuming he's playing here. We're going to assume he's playing. And then for the Pistons, Rodney McGruder's game time decision. Hamidou Diallo, game time decision. Usual suspects, game time decision / out. So I'm going to give it up to James Harden. I mean, first game back, he took the last game off. They floundered. They put up 88 points offensively. Don't think that's going to happen again. Let's rock with the Nets, folks. I'm big fans of James Harden. He's our MVP front runner, and because of that, we're going to trust him with the minus 5.5 points here. So we'll put the Nets up here, minus 5.5, like it. Now, if James Harden is out, do not bet this game. So maybe wait a little bit to the tip off of this game, but the spread makes me think James Harden's playing minus 5.5 on the road. I mean, if they were, if James Harden wasn't playing, the Nets would probably be getting points, or maybe it'd be a pick'em game. So I'm assuming James Harden's going to play just based off this spread. So we'll swallow the 5.5 here. Alrighty, then we get the Celtics and the Bucks. Alrighty, is the Celtics going to have everybody to go for this game? Tristan Thompson is still out. Alrighty, Evan Fournier is a game time decision. So if he's good to go, if he feels he's ready to rock here, day after getting traded, they're going to play him. Luke Cornett, game time decision. Semi Ulije is out. Moritz Wagner, game time decision. So, I mean, they're going to struggle with Tristan Thompson being out. If Moritz Wagner's not ready to rock, I mean, they're only going to have Robert Williams against the bigs of the Bucks. So, don't think we can trust the Celtics too much quite yet. And then for the Bucks, PJ Tucker, game time decision. Brian Forbes, game time decision. So, they're all ready to rock. We're going to swallow the 6 here for the Bucks. Just don't think the Celtics team is ready to go with all their new additions there. And they don't have Daniel Tice, who has gotten the bulk of the starting minutes. Robert Williams, I don't think, has started this entire season. So we'll swallow the 6 here for the Bucks. They're on this big winning streak. They're what, 8 games now? 8-game winning streak. So we're going to keep it up. Don't think the Celtics are ready to rock with their new lineup just quite yet. So we'll swallow the 6 there for the Bucks. Alrighty, Suns, Raptors. Suns -4, Raptors +4. Let's see if everybody's ready to go here. For the Suns, Abdel Nader's out. McCall Bridges is a game time decision. And then for the Raptors, DeAndre Bembry's out. And obviously they've got no Norman Powell anymore. We'll see. Gary Trent Jr., I think, is good to go. He's not a game-time decision. We just saw him working out last night in the facility for the Raptors at like 1 o'clock in the morning. They put a nice little kind of, hype video of Gary Trent Jr. So they are going to have Gary Trent Jr. there for the Raptors, ready to go. Suns here, looking real good. Don't think we'll swallow the 4 here for the Suns. Raptors here are going to have to kind of figure out their starting lineup a little bit more. This Suns team is going on an absolute tear currently at the moment. 7-3 in their last 10. They did just lose against the Magic. Bad loss there for the Suns, so expect them to kind of come out a little bit more guns a-blazing, especially because I'm telling you, the Suns are after that #1 seed. Chris Paul wants home field or home court advantage throughout the entire thing, and now they are 3 games back of the Jazz. So Suns are going to turn it on. We'll swallow the 4 here. Don't think the Raptors. Let's get the first game out of the way with everybody in their starting lineup, and then maybe we'll bet on them if they're looking good. But we'll swallow the 4 here. Alrighty, so first 3 games up, 3 spreads taken, liking it so far, loving it. I'm loving it, folks. Let's see if we can keep it up here. We might have like a 9-10 teamer going at this pace, so let's keep it up. Here we go. Nuggets, Pelicans. Nuggets -2.5. Pelicans +2.5. All right, both are just the Nuggets getting new players here, so let's see if they're all good to go. JaVale McGee is out, so he will not be making his debut here. Aaron Gordon is also out, so both of those 2 new players will not be making their debut here for the Nuggets. And then for the Pelicans, Lonzo Ball is out. All righty, but hey, they just won their last game with Lonzo Ball being out. Maybe they get this one done as well. I'm not sold that Lonzo makes this team good or makes this team bad. I don't think he makes them anything. I think he's just out there. He's just a body out there. He doesn't elevate to anybody. So, Nuggets -2.5. It's looking real interesting, folks. Nuggets just got blown out by the Raptors, though. So we've got other good pieces here. Let's see how the Nuggets are handling, this new pieces. Are they all too excited to play? We'll see, but we'll stay away from it. The Pelicans are pretty good without Lonzo Ball on the floor, so let's see if this trend continues to go up. So we'll stay away from this one just because we've got some other better spreads already, and we don't need to force anything in here, so we'll leave the Nuggets Pelicans out of this one. Alrighty, Heat and the Hornets. Heat just played last night. Let's see if everybody's good to go here, and the Hornets are on a 2-game win streak ever since LaMelo Ball has been out. So for the Heat, Udonis Haslem is out. Goran Dragic is still out. Jimmy Butler's a game-time decision, so expect him to play. Nemanja Bjelica's out, so he won't be making his Heat debut. Victor Oladipo is out, so he will not be making his Heat debut. What just went down here? Nets -5.5. Just got worse odds, I think. But we still like it. We got no problem there. And then, so Bjelica and Victor Oladipo not playing. Goran Dragic not playing for the Heat. And then for the Hornets, LaMelo Ball obviously out. We know that. And then Brad Wanamaker, he's a game-time decision. So we'll see if kind of he makes his Hornets debut. What do we say? It's Heat -1, Hornets -1. The only reason why the Heat won last night was because Tyler Hero went absolutely, or no, they didn't win. They lost by 3. They lost at the buzzer, or at the free throw line. At the free throw line. Yeah, I think we're gonna stay away from this one. Hornets, I'm not truly believing that they're better without LaMelo Ball. I don't think this trend of winning out without LaMelo Ball is gonna continue. I mean, they beat the Rockets and the Spurs by 3, so I'm not really kind of banking on them being great without LaMelo Ball. And then the Heat, I mean, with Jimmy Butler back, I mean, I expect them to be a little bit more competitive here than last night. So we'll stay away from this one. Can't really call it. Value is dwindling here in our moneymaker. Are y'all betting live? Y'all watching and betting live here? Because we're just going down and down. So we got to quickly finish here before we get no good value here anymore. So let's continue on quickly here. Rockets, Timberwolves. Rockets +4. Timberwolves -4. Probably going to stay away from this one. Everybody's out for the Rockets. So Eric Gordon's out. Kelly Olynyk is a game-time decision. So we'll see how that works. Now, Kelly Olynyk may be able to work for this Rockets team. Coming off the bench is fantastic for him. And then, you know, the Rockets love their small ball lineups. And he works perfectly in the small ball, big position because he can hit the 3, and he's only like 6'9", but he can still be a good big. That's why he's the center/forward. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in Kelly Olynyk here for the Rockets. I definitely think that makes them good. We'll see if he plays. Avery Bradley's out for them. David Waba is still out. For the Timberwolves, D'Lo is still out. Jordan McLaughlin is a game-time decision, and Malik Beasley is out. So now that Christian Wood is back here for the Rockets, and John Wall knows that he's now the one and only guy, now that Victor Oladipo is truly off the Rockets, we got to kind of watch how this Rockets team plays. I think I do like them +4. Damn, am I going to take them +4? I'm feeling risky on that team. I think they get it done. This Timberwolves team is nothing good. So we're going to take the Rockets +4 here. I'm ready to kind of start believing them a little bit more now that, you know, after the trade deadline, all kind of the question marks of who's actually on this roster and who's not, it's all kind of put to rest. Christian Wood is back healthy. John Wall is going to consistently be out there now. They don't have to worry about Victor Oladipo, game time decision. Is he going to play? Is he going to go? Is he even going to be here? Does he even want to be here? How is he going to play if he does play? So they don't have that to go kind of on their minds anymore. And then also having Kelly Olynyk be a game-time decision, I'm really big about watching this man play. I think he fits perfectly here for Houston. So we'll take the +4 and we'll rock with it. Alrighty, let's keep going here. We get Pacers, Mavericks. Pacers +4, Mavericks -4. Alrighty. Big game for the Pacers here. I mean, they've beaten nobody, folks. They've beaten nobody good this entire year. So this is a huge matchup here for the Mavericks for them. Everybody's going to go for the Pacers. We just learned that TJ Warren is out for the entire season now. He hasn't been playing this entire season. He's been out up until this point, but now it's official. He's officially gone. And this one just went off here. Everything just got reset here. Everything is slipping in our... Now it's Nets -6. I don't know what's going on here. They're just like deselecting all my picks real quick. They're still in this right one, but wow, everything is going up. So get this value while you can. What are the Suns? Suns still -4? Yeah, they still -4. Alrighty. They just took off all of our picks for some reason. Alrighty. Let's keep going here, though. So we're at Mavericks, Pacers. Everybody's going to go for the Pacers. For the Mavericks, JJ Redick's a game-time decision. They just acquired him. So good, I guess. I mean, I'm over JJ Redick. I've been over him ever since he was with the Clippers. I was kind of over him. He does not perform when he needs to perform. All of his numbers are inflated, and I don't care what anybody says. Willie Cauley-Stein is out. Tyrell Terry is out. So you still got, your usual suspects there. So we'll stay away from this one. The Mavericks should have no trouble beating the Pacers. The Pacers don't beat anybody good. Caris LeVert, I mean, he hasn't really elevated them to kind of better play yet. They still haven't beaten a good team since Caris LeVert's got there. So we'll stay away from this one. Alrighty, Grizzlies in the Jazz. Grizzlies +9.5, Jazz -9.5. Probably going to stay away from this one. Just too big for us to swallow. Everybody's good to go for the Grizzlies. And then for the Jazz, Matt Thomas is a game-time decision who they just acquired. So we'll stay away from this one. Too big of a spread here for us. And I'm not ready to trust the Grizzlies. Once again, they just finally got above 500, so you know it's coming now. the 500 and then the below 500 so they can get back up to 500 so they can go back to 500 then back below 500. So y'all know the cycle. We've been tracking it the entire season. So not going to take this. And then they just freaking put the Cavs-Lakers spread back up. So I don't know what's going on here. A lot of movement going around, so we'll check right after this to see if really anything's been breaking. So let's move on to Hawks-Warriors. Hawks minus 7.5, Warriors plus 7.5. Don't think Steph Curry's good to go, so let's double check that. Steph Curry is out. Draymond Green's a game-time decision. And then for the Hawks, Lou Williams out. He's not making his debut tonight. And Cam Reddish is still out. And Chris Dunn is still out. So, going to stay away from this one. We'll see how Hawks minus 7.5 is decent since Steph Curry's out. I don't expect anybody to step up on this Warriors team. I mean, they don't even step up when he's on the floor. So, we just saw nobody step up last night. Andrew Wiggins did with the 25. But, Kelly Oubre Jr. still lackluster, under 20 points, with Steph Curry not in the starting lineup. So we'll stay away from this one, and we'll wait for Lou Williams to get into this Atlanta offense. And then the last game, Cavs, Lakers. Cavs plus 3.5, Lakers minus 3.5. I might be taking the Cavs here. We'll see who's in and out. Kevin Love, game time decision. So hopefully, if he plays, he's on the bench because we see how that offense performs when he's in the starting lineup. 80 points, not gonna win. Matthew Dellavedova, game time decision. Andre Drummond is out because they obviously. Teron Prince, game time decision. Colin Sexton, game time decision. Definitely need him in the starting lineup if they want a chance to win. And then LeBron James still out. Anthony Davis still out. So Cavs plus 3.5. It's not bad, folks. We've got 5 picks here in our play already, so we'll stay away from it. Like all these other ones, better than what we got. So here we go, officially. Our moneymaker for today, after coming off of our big win yesterday, Nets minus 5.5. Or hang on, we got to take this one out. Are we only at 4? Oh yeah, we are only at 4. So Nets minus 5.5, Bucks minus 6, Suns minus 4, Rockets plus 4 is our official. And then if you do like Cavs plus 3.5, you do have our endorsement. We do like that as well. So I'll leave that up to y'all if y'all want to take that one. But we'll be rocking with this 4-teamer here: Nets minus 5.5, Bucks minus 6, Suns minus 4, Rockets plus 4. I think Rockets plus 4 is sneaky good value, folks. Get that up while you can. Alrighty, that's going to do it for us today. We're not going to squeeze in our NFL draft prospect of the day. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll fit him in tomorrow. We'll also update our power rankings in the NBA tomorrow as well. I didn't want to do it today because I just wanted to really kind of just re-solidify what happened in the trade deadline. Maybe kind of reset and kind of the NBA now that everything's kind of set in stone. We know, Lamarcus Aldridge and Andre Drummond can go wherever they want. So, when that breaks, we'll let you know. But now that the trade deadline's over, nobody's really going anywhere else. Everything's really set in stone. Let's see what these pieces are. So we'll update it tomorrow, our power rankings. But yeah, just really wanted to kind of key in on that trade deadline today. All right, so let's before we actually leave here, let's see if anything has been breaking since we are. Oh no. What? Okay, here we go. Eagles are trading number 6 and number 156 pick to the Dolphins for number 12 and number 123 in a first rounder in 2022. We're trading. What is going on here? Why do we trade? When did we get? Oh goodness, do I need to go back? Did we trade picks? What is going on here? Because we had the 3rd and 18. Where did this 12 pick come from? How could we have traded a 12-round pick? Oh, God. The 3rd round pick that Miami's getting from San Francisco is actually in 2022. Oh, good. Did we just trade a... I got to get to the bottom of this. What just happened? If we traded a pick, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Especially if we traded that number 3 pick. Here we go. Dolphins. No! No! Ugh! 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 We traded the 3 pick. No. We won the pick. That was our pick just to splurge and get whatever the hell we wanted. No consequences attached. We robbed the Texans. That was that number 3 pick. So we should have just done whatever we were going to do. But we traded it. Ugh! All right, what do we do? What do we do? Dolphins trading number 3 pick overall to the 49ers for the number 12 pick in a 2021 3rd round pick, in a 1st round pick, And first round picks in 2022. Hang on, what? So we get the number 12 pick in this year's draft, a third round pick for their compensation draft, and first round picks in 2022 and 2023. So we get more picks? Alrighty. I guess we're going to have to root for the 49ers to keep losing like we did for the Texans. Alrighty. I guess picks for more picks, but that just leads to what the Thunder are doing, and they keep losing. They're never rebuilding. They're never, like, solidifying greatness, right? Alrighty. So the 49ers, they've got some plans at number 3. They must be getting a quarterback or something. I mean, what are you going to do at number 3 with the 49ers? A wide receiver, a running back? You got Morsat. Do you really need a running back? Quarterback's really the only thing that's making sense. I mean, they had the number 12 pick, so what's so important for them that they have to get into the number 3? Wow, interesting, man. I don't know if I like it, man. I really just wish we would have cashed it on the number 3 pick. Let's use our number 18 pick too as well. I mean, we could have gotten a running back and a wide receiver, really shore up our offense, for Tua. But once again, we're just stuttering. We're picking out. I mean, yeah. Now we have 2 picks in the first round, 2 picks in the in 2022, and 2 first round picks in 2023. I get it, but I mean, if we keep trading and trading back, it's just like, are we ever going to use them? Or are we just going to keep getting draft picks and never using them and just saying, oh, we're only a pick away, but we keep trading back picks, and now we're only a pick away, but we keep trading back picks, and now we're only a pick away, but we keep on trading. I mean, we're going to go 3 years out. I don't know, man. I don't like it. I really wish we would have just gotten that 3 pick. We already won. There's talent to be had in this year's draft. There's wide receivers to go and get that. That's our problem. Tua's got no weapons, and now we're just delaying the weapons, man. So what do we have officially? The number 12 picks is we just traded it with the Eagles now. So now we've got the number 6 pick, so we went 3 picks back, but also got more first-round picks. Alrighty. I really just wish we would have used the 3rd pick. That's all I'm saying. That's all I wanted. I wanted us to use the 3rd pick and just go and get a luxury pick. Just no strings attached. We won the trade. We've won that pick. We could have done whatever we wanted. We could have gotten a running back at number 3. You don't choose a running back in the first round, what everybody says, but that would have been consequence free at that number 3 pick. We could have done whatever we wanted. We already robbed the Texans. We already lucked out that they were trashed this season to get that number 3 pick. So I really just wish we would have capitalized on it. That's all I'm saying. Alrighty. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Let me sleep on it, but I'm... Okay. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Not super happy. Not super happy. I'm leaving the show mad. Alrighty, folks. Well, we're back tomorrow, live, noon Eastern. I don't even know if I want to be This may have just shut our show down. I told y'all if we traded the number 3 pick, these were all coming down. So we may have a blank set on the show tomorrow. Just saying. Alrighty, we're out of here. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm mad. I'm about to go scream after the mic. I'm about to, after we leave, I'm screaming. So, alright, we'll see you. Ugh!